3, 2, 1, and we are live again. Round 2.
Nice to see you, brother.
Thank
It's
you,
been a
man.
long
Nice to see you
time.
too, man. Been a very long time. Been a week.
Before we start, I just want to say I've showed your podcast to a lot of different people, and it's had a great reception so far. Great reception. They spoke very highly of me. I don't know about you, but I did a great job.
Yeah, that's what I got. Like, dude, that guy was awesome, dude.
No, but honestly, people were so interested. I literally haven't heard anything but great things about what you had to say about the conversation that we had. Very proud of you. I
Thank
think
you.
this is going to do very well, and I want to know exactly what we're diving into. I'm excited to see what's next.
Me too. And I want to make this one a nice, quick little kind of pieces that we throw out. Don't want it to be a long podcast,
Right.
That we take a long time, just to kind of make it short and simple so we can take one thing out of it. No, that's just going to be my concept kind of moving forward is I want every podcast to be like one concept we talk about for a short period of time, the ideas around it, what it means, and how people can apply it and kind of take one thing away from it as opposed to talking about a bunch of stuff.
Diving deep into a subject, but only for 10, 15 minutes. Give the cliff notes, put the purpose out there, and then...
And then we go on. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to test you today, right? And let me know if you're okay with this. You wanted to talk about something else,
Yeah.
which I'm not going to discuss right now because I know you're going to talk about it in another day, but are you willing to answer a question selfishly for me?
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this the past week in depth, right? The idea of money, the idea of financial freedom, the idea of wealth, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody has a different understanding of what money is.
Yeah.
Money means a different thing to me than it does to you. But what I'm interested in knowing is, what is your definition of wealth? What is your definition of money? What does it do for you?
I think it's two different things, in my opinion. I mean, I took this from Tony Robbins, which he has a very good definition of how he breaks it down. Money and wealth are two different things, right? I think we both know a lot of people.
Wow, I've never thought about it like that.
Yeah, we know
money
a lot
and
of
wealth are two different
things. We know a lot of people who have a lot of money, but they're not wealthy. They're not really wealthy, which means they're lacking the other aspects of being wealthy, in my opinion, which Tony Robbins broke it down to me to 7 steps and 7 areas of wealth. Money is one part of that 7. But it's not, I wouldn't look at wealth as just money that you accumulate a lot of money. It's not technically wealth because you could be very, very rich. Let's just say you're super unhealthy, have crappy relationships, super stressed out. You're not really wealthy.
Right.
You just have a lot of money.
Life isn't as good as it could be.
Yeah, it's not. You don't have a wealthy life. It's not a rich life.
Yeah.
So the way, I would look at wealth, I break it down, and this is directly from Tony Robbins, and it's in 7 areas of wealth, right? That if you master all 7 areas, then you can really have a wealthy life. The first domain out of the 7 domains is your physical wealth. And physical wealth is not just you being like super jacked or like a bodybuilder or like a freak athlete.
Right. And I'm sure that's what most people are assuming. They're looking at the LeBron James, like, I don't have that type of physical wealth. But it doesn't mean that that's exactly what you have to be. There's different levels to it, I'm sure.
Different. And what I mean by that is it's a sense of health, sense of vitality, sense of energy, right? Sense of, just being having a full functioning body, right? Optimized body, right? And the most important thing is energy. That's the most important because most of life, I mean, you're not going to go start that business or go achieve your goals or go do whatever it is that you're looking to do if you don't have energy. If you have low energy, you have no vitality and power in your body, you're not going to do it. Like,
there's literally only so much you can do if
Perfect.
you're tired and lethargic all the time.
Correct. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you're a guy who works crazy hours. At the end of the day, you're super tired, right? And you're trying to build and make sure you have this good relationship with your spouse or your family or whoever, right? At the end of the day, when you have no energy left in you, like, oh, honey, not tonight, maybe another time. I'm just tired tonight, right?
God, and that happens so often.
So often,
unfortunately.
all the time. So the energy and vitality, the physical part of it is the number one part. You have to have that, right? And looks come along with it too, which is just kind of the secondary benefit
That's,
of
I
it.
feel like, just the cherry on top for actually feeling good.
Yeah.
Right? That's a result of feeling good, of doing the exercise, whatever it is that it may
Yeah.
be. On top of how you actually feel,
Correct.
you look better too.
Yes, which, I'm going to be talking a lot about, in the future podcast about fitness and the things that I do and the way I look at fitness and how I break it down and things of that nature. But that's the first part of wealth that I look at. The second part of it is the emotional wealth.
Yeah.
Well, okay, what emotional wealth? What does that mean, right? It's more like a sense of meaning to your life, a sense of purpose.
Elaborate on that a little bit, please.
Right. So emotional wealth, every single day we wake up, people have dominant emotions that they operate all the time on. And the emotions that you operate and you feel and you sense mostly during the day is your emotional wealth. I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. If you operate on a day-to-day basis on an emotional side of being passionate, being excited,
Yeah.
being purposeful, being just super in love with what you're doing, right? Super intense, super focused, right? Those emotions, that's a sense of meaning that you have. Like, I'm always very excited, because I know every single day I wake up, I know I'm one day closer into that future vision that I'm chasing.
That's a beautiful thing to
Right.
wake up to every
Yeah,
morning.
every day being excited. Now, it doesn't always start out that way because sometimes you're just exhausted. But there's, like we talked about in the last podcast, that the state management comes into play. But the second part of after physical, in my opinion, is the emotional part of it, because, the primary emotions that you feel and experience during the day and you operate on is the emotional side of. And again, we talked about money and wealth, right? Let's say you have a truckload of money, very, very wealthy in terms of cash.
Yeah.
Okay. And every day when you go in about your business or your day, you're super you operate on fear. Oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen today. I'm not sure. Let's say super stressed out and super worried all the time. We know a lot of people, I'm sure, in our life that are super worried and stressed out. They're always stressed out about things.
Yeah.
They're not wealthy because they're operating, no matter how much money they have or they don't have, that's their operating emotion.
They're operating in fear.
In fear or in worry or in doubt or in stress, right?
And imagine how that compounds too every single day.
It ages you.
Yeah.
It ages you. It
Yeah.
ages you.
I know so many people, right, in their 50s
Yeah.
that look like they're 70 years old.
Yeah.
But then it's interesting because
There's a lot of people in my business that
I
way too. Yeah.
also know a lot of people that are in their 50s that look like they're in their early 30s.
Yeah. I have a good friend of mine. I think I posted a picture on my Instagram one time. He's like 45, 44.
Yeah.
He literally looks like he's 24.
Wow.
Like, and he does bodybuilding. I think if you've met him before, like, he just looks unreal. He puts 20-year-olds to shame how good he looks. He doesn't, if you look at him, like, oh, that guy's 22, 24.
No way.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
And when he told me he's like 44, I'm like, what? He's like, you're kidding. He was like, no. I was like, dude, you have to show me your ID. No way.
Wow.
He's like, yeah, dude, here's my ID. I was like, what? How is that possible, dude? Like, you look way better than I do. Like, man, I kind of got pissed off for a second. I'm like, dude, what the heck?
That's so funny.
So that's the second part, is the emotional part of it. And I think the third part is your relationship wealth. And, I'm not in a relationship with anyone in terms
But you
of
have
intimate,
relationships with many different people.
many different people, right?
Yeah.
And intimacy part of it is one. I've had experiences of it before, or right now I just don't have a place for it.
Right.
Right. At this stage, I'm just too young for that particular part. But relationship with your family, right? How is that? Relationship with your friends, relationship with people in your business network,
Right.
right?
Because that's your ecosystem.
That's your ecosystem. Those are the people that are around
That's
you.
who you're defined by and
Yeah.
who you're constantly defining,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So that's the third one that I look at, is the relationship part. Do you have good, genuine, loving friendships and relationship with your family and people that you work with,
Right.
your business network, and in your relationship with in an intimate side, your boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse? That's another part of it too, right? You could be super rich, but you just have a crappy marriage, right? then when you go to bed, you just hope the other person doesn't touch you.
Right.
You're not wealthy.
That's a misery.
That's misery, dude. Doesn't matter what kind of a bedroom you sleep in. You're just miserable.
Right.
So that's another one. But again, I don't want to give too much advice in intimacy because I'm not currently experiencing the intimacy part of it for me to give a logical advice about. But
one thing to add on to as well, which I think is very important, is if you have great relationships with the people around you,
yeah,
you're going to have a better relationship with your personal self as well.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. When you have a good relationship with yourself, it leads on to the relationship you have with other people.
And I think it works vice versa as well.
Yeah.
It's a very tit for tat type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely it is. The other thing I look at is, and again, this is all directly from Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
The fourth area is the time mastery, the wealth of time.
That's, I think, very, very important.
Yes.
Spend a little bit more time on this one for me, because I selfishly want to know
what
you think about this.
Yeah, so time is, do you have time for your own personal accomplishments, right? And this is not time management per se, right? Time management is different. I run on a very strict schedule. This time, 15 minutes, I'm going to do this, all that. That's a different way to master time. But time wealth is like time to fulfill the things that you want to fulfill, time to work on yourself, time to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, as much as you want, Right. That's the time mastery. Because again, going back to it, that it's not just money. You have a lot of money, but you're just running around. You're constantly trying to fulfill things for other people, or you have all these tasks you have to do for your family, yourself, or whatever, and then you have no time to enjoy anything that you have.
Yeah.
That money ain't worth nothing.
And that happens all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Now, me, I like to just spend all the time working. I just have an addiction to work. I'm addicted, okay? That's my drug of choice. I have an addictive personality, and I'm super obsessed with things. I don't like to, have one chocolate bar. I want to have 50. Okay?
I want all of them.
I want all of them,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So to me, I like to do that, but I think time, to me, time is an emotion. That's what I look at it. I think it's an emotion. Like
you know why I agree with you? When you have a really good time, doesn't it feel like time
flies by?
Just flies. But if you're, I'm not going to cuss. If you're miserable,
yes.
How slow does time feel? It feels
Incredibly.
Like you're
watching
trying to
the clock.
run through quicksand and you're not getting anywhere, and 1 minute feels like 10 hours, and it's just something that you can't get out of. But like I said, on the other side of the coin, when you feel good, when you're happy, when things are great, time flies. It's so smooth. It's so fluffy.
Time is a crazy concept, man. I think it's like, what is time? What is exactly time? This thing that's constantly running against you. You can't stop it.
I had a podcast about time, and we spoke in depth about it.
Yeah.
But even then, when I thought I had all the answers, what we just talked about opened up a whole different gate. That opened up a whole bottle of new ideas. So it just goes to show, it's something that is literally never ending in the realm of the concept.
Yeah.
And the also interesting thing is, it's the only resource we have that never runs out. We will always run out before the resource does.
Yeah. Time is, that's another driving, your podcast is named The Driving Factor, which I just love that podcast. It's a very powerful podcast, and it just keeps getting better.
Thank you.
That's what I love about it, right?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's
guests like you make it much better. Insights from people like you.
Work in progress, man. That's an amazing podcast, which I 100%, 1,000% suggest you guys follow that podcast, watch it. I have it that as soon as it goes on, my computer tells me it's on, that I can right away start watching it. There's a lot of good concepts to have, like their Monday motivations are amazing. There's a lot of great things and ideas that you can take away from. And really apply, and it does change your life. I've learned a lot of things from it. So I think that's an amazing podcast. But one of the driving factors for me, right?
That was very generous of you, by the way. Thank you.
It's just the truth, right?
Appreciate
if it was crappy, I'll tell you the truth. But one of the driving factors for me is running out of time, man. I don't want to be like 70 years old and make it. I want to make it like, to a lot of people, what I have right now, they've made it. Like, man, damn, no way.
Right.
Making
this is just the tipping point.
700, 800,000 a year. Having a couple $1 million in your bank, dude, having a home. I just purchased my first home at 22. They think that's making it. That's the American dream.
Yeah.
I don't think that is making it. That's not abundance, But that's another thing, like for me, time mastery, right? Running out of time and making sure you're spending that time the right way and you're enjoying it. Again, it's an emotion. 1 minute could feel like an eternity. 10 days could feel like it would just happen within 1 minute, right?
Right.
It's how good of a time you're having. The other thing I think after that is, so that's the fourth thing, right? The first one is a physical, second one is emotional, third one is your relationship with other people and your network. Fourth is your time mastery. I think the fifth one is your mission, career, or work, which is two complete different things, right? Some people have work.
Some people have careers.
Yeah, you can easily tell if you ask someone, "What do you do?" It's like, "Oh, I got to go to work. That's my work. It's my job," right?
Yeah.
I can easily tell what kind of a meaning and fulfillment that person gets if they call it their work. And someone else calls it their career. You can tell that person has a different connection to it when it's a career, right? 90% of people have work. They have just work to do. Very few people have a career that they're pursuing, right? It's a true career to them, right? It's a field and an industry they're in, and they have a good career. And the very few people have a mission. Like, dude, I have a mission of things that I'm going to accomplish in whatever industry or avenue that I'm in, right? I think that's another part of it, of wealth. The fifth part of it is work, career, or mission. Which one is it for you, right?
Yeah.
Very few people get to the mission part. I'm on a mission for myself. I'm not on a mission yet for my, a vision and a mission in an industry and business yet. I'm still young. I'm still trying to figure it out, right? What that
You're
mission is.
experimenting. You're seeing where you want to take everything.
Yeah, like someone like an Ed Milet, Grant Cardone, they have missions. But then someone like Larry Ellison, Jeff Bezos, these guys have visions and missions that are just that's a real mission right there. Changing industries, right? That's a mission. That's what I'm chasing for personally still, to find the mission of it. I'm still lacking a bit of an experience that I'm going to gain.
Right.
But that's another part, in my opinion. Is it work? Is it career? Or is it a mission for you that you're currently pursuing? That's the fifth part.
You know what I think defines the difference between work, career, and mission?
What?
What the labor of love
Yeah.
means to you.
What do you mean by that?
If it's a labor of love, right? Let's say you're in the office.
Yeah.
You're working 15, 16, 17, 18 hours.
Yeah.
It's not sheerly determination that's going to put you forward, because you're going to have to wake up the next day and do it all over again.
Yeah.
If it's not something that you have a labor of love for,
Yeah.
you're not ever going to work somewhere
Yeah.
that you don't that you don't care about,
Yeah.
right? For 18 hours.
Yeah.
If you have a career,
Yeah.
you might do that once in a while, right? You know
Yeah.
what? I love what I'm doing. I love where I'm at. I'm going to put some work in here and there over time to make sure that things go well.
Yeah.
But I think you have to have a labor of love that is so deep
Yeah.
and pure to what the mission is,
Yeah.
to where you are willing to sacrifice everything and anything to fulfill that mission, and you do it with as much love as you can possibly offer. And when you don't have any more to give,
Yeah.
you'll figure out a way to get more and keep on giving.
Correct.
So
It's a very interesting way of looking at it. I like
it's
that.
a level of labor of love. And when people call me, right, it's like, why are you still at the office at 11 p.m.?
Yeah.
Don't you get tired? It's a labor of love, baby.
Yeah.
And when I go home, I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to smile about what I did that day. Then I'm going to wake up. Guess what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
I'm going to do it all over again.
You know what? Next time someone tells you that, there's a great quote. Like, yeah, I'd rather be tired than broke. It's a great saying.
I love
I'd rather
that.
be tired than be broke. Man. That's the reason. That's the reason why I'm still here, pushing and shoving.
That's a Wolf of Wall Street type of vibe right there. I like that.
Love that poster, man. Yeah. It's a very cocky poster, but I like it.
It fits you perfect.
And then the sixth area, right? So the first one is the physical, then emotional, then the relationship, then after the relationship is your time mastery, then work, career, or mission. The sixth one is money. Finally get to money.
That's what I thought was going to be number one.
No.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
No, it's listen, I'm money hungry. Don't get me wrong, okay? I'm money hungry.
Yeah, but there's levels to the game.
Yeah, but I'm not money hungry enough to say, dude, I'm just gonna be always be stressed out and just kind of ruin everything else just to have the money, because what's the point of having it? What's the point of having it, right? But the concept of money, I'm much more passionate about that one part, because I know I look at it as freedom points.
Yeah.
And it's a tool to get you what you want in life, to get you the experiences that you want, to help the people that you want, to create your visions into reality.
Yeah.
You need money to do that.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
You can't just have good grace with people and make it happen. This isn't a non-profit organization, right? You have to generate profits to make changes. In this world, this is a planet that operates on economics.
Yeah.
It is not, as much as love and all that. They're important. Love, passion, all those things are great, but they don't operate on that. Right?
Everything is a
operate on
trade for a good or a service.
Yeah.
And most of the time, what you're giving somebody in return for a good or service
Yeah.
is some type of legal tender.
Yeah.
Not, oh, I'll give you a favor.
Yeah.
You want money.
Yeah.
You want something.
Yeah.
So it's, whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's nothing that we can do about it. It's a life that we live where money is king. You need money to do the things that you want to do, to give yourself the life that you want to live. So instead of, having disdain towards it,
Yeah.
why not understand it? Why not dive deeper into what money really means and use it to your advantage?
Most
If
people
you
don't
can't
research
change the system within yourself.
Yeah, I think most people don't research it. I mean, listen, man, we've been dealt a bad hand, I think, comes to money. There's no school for it to how to make it, how to keep it, and how to multiply it.
Absolutely.
There's just no school for it.
I have a
right?
degree in finance, and they never.
What did you learn there? Tell me one thing what did you learn that taught you how to get rich? Not to give you concepts and ideas and this and that. Oh, we do this and do that. The profit and loss, all those things that are good information. What did they teach you how to get rich in school specifically?
I was taught how to analyze a balance sheet, and that's about it. And I have a degree in finance with honors. I know how to read a balance sheet. They never talked about. I take that back. I had one teacher that taught us, and this wasn't in the curriculum.
Yeah.
So this is an oddball concept, right? You're not going to go into a class and they're going to teach you this. But he would teach us what money really meant.
Yeah.
How to use money to make more money, how to leverage and hedge money for your own benefit, for your business's benefit. But if it wasn't for that teacher to go off the track, all I would have learned is how to do analysis and read balance sheets. It's ridiculous. You would think, I have a degree in finance. I should know everything about money.
Yeah.
I should understand the language of money.
Yeah.
The only thing I understood is how to do theoretical analysis.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like every semester, you're like, this semester they're going to teach me about money.
Yeah, I was looking
Yeah.
forward to it. And then you
like,
get into class, you're like, you're going to learn how to figure out the beta
Yeah.
of this company's stock. Well, it's like, why? Who cares?
It doesn't matter.
Who cares?
Yeah.
And you spend you indulge all of your time and effort into all these like critical, analytical things
Yeah.
that in the grand scheme of the world and
It's not practical.
the world of business, not only is it not practical, it doesn't really matter.
No. It
Right?
doesn't really matter. It's like algebra.
What's going to matter, the beta of your company or the innovation at hand? But that's a different concept for a different day, but it's all relative.
I mean, the way I look at it, I think there's financial independency, there's financial freedom,
Yeah.
and then there's financial abundance. Independency is like you can pay the bills, you have a little bit of money, you can manage things, right? You can manage your life, pay your housing, your food, your car, your insurance, your cable bills. That's being financially independent.
It's very simple.
You can pay the bills, right? The next level to it is financial, more of like financial freedom, I would like to call it, which is you have all your basics needs paid for, and you have a lot of money also left over to do other things that you want to do. Investing, how to multiply your money.
Yeah.
And what avenues, put it into financial instruments, put it into real estate, put it into a business, and whatever it may be. That's more like financial freedom. Not only you have the bills paid for, you also have a lot of money left over for yourself, for fun, for whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And then financial abundance, that's like you can have everything you want.
Anything is at your disposal.
Anything can be at your disposal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you just want to get anything, okay? I don't want to use an example even. Anything. Financial abundance, right? I'm at the financial freedom part, right? When you get to the financial abundance, that's like multi-millionaire, billionaire.
Next level.
Financial abundance. That's the next level I need to break into, right? Which I definitely will. It's just going to take some time and learning to do so. But most people are at the financial independence, which some people are not even there.
I was going to say, do you even think, I mean, if you're financially independent, as you said, you live quite a simple, A plus B equals C life.
Yeah, I don't try to flaunt it at all.
Very careful, very simple, very safe. I think safe is a good word for it. But I feel like there's more people that aren't even that.
No.
There's way more poverty.
Yeah.
And
like
despair than
I try to
even
live
that.
it. I try to live it pretty simple myself. I don't try to flaunt it. I'm not trying to go rent out a Lamborghini and buy a $5 million home with a mortgage and just waste all my money on things.
Right.
I'm pretty cautious with it too because I want to save it and I want to invest it, put it into things that's going to pay me money when I don't have to work. Right now, I'm trading time
for money.
Yeah. Which is the worst trade of your life, right? Because we were talking earlier, time is running. I don't want to trade time to make money. But at this time, since I'm young and I'm making it, I don't want to spend it. I'm pretty cautious with it. I'm going to save it and then learn areas and opportunities where I can put the money into where it's going to either grow in equity for me or it's going to give me dividends
passive
and residual
income
back,
of some sort, right?
And continue to build that investment portfolio that at some point you'd have the financial abundance without working, right? That's another concept of it is the money part. And I'm very money hungry. I am 100% money hungry because it's going to give me freedom. It's going to give me the life I want.
Yeah.
And for me, that's hundreds of millions and billions. That's what my definition of it is because I'm just basing it on my potential, not what the reality of the money part of it is. After all of those is done, the sixth part is the money. I think the last one, number 7, is your spiritual wealth. How in tune you are. We talked on your podcast previously about visualization, meditation, habit creation, subliminal programming, all those things that you're internally, in tuned with yourself, your own spirit, your own sense of the core of yourself of who you are.
Yeah.
Really getting in touch with that. That to me, that 7 steps is the way I define wealth, right? Physical, emotional, relationship, time, career, mission or work, money, and then your spirit.
Out of all 7 of them, 3-part question. Number 1, which one do you think is the most important? Number 2, which one do you think you have the most of? Number 3, which one do you have the least of and want to improve?
I cannot say which one is more important because if I take one of them out, the definition of wealth would just disappear. If I take one of them out of the equation, say, okay, like all these are important, but physical isn't important.
How about which one means the most to you right now? We'll make it even easier. I don't think there's any wrong answer, right?
I take them all serious, man, equally, to be honest with you. Which one do I spend more time doing? I spend more time right now at this moment on the money and on the emotional aspect of it, making sure the emotions that I'm enduring during the day are peak emotions. Those are the 2 things that I do the most. I need the emotion in order to make the money. So right now I'm mainly focused on that most of the hours of the day. But the relationship I have with my mother or my friends, when I'm with them, I care genuinely a lot about that. I spend time doing it.
Of course.
Physical, I spend every single day doing it.
Of course.
Right? Time, I spend the time doing the things that I want to do and mastering that part of it.
Yeah.
The spiritual part, I meditate, visualize every day, right? Those things are still there, but I'm working 100 hours a week for the money part, right? So most of the week is going to that.
Right.
Because right now, it just the type of industry that I'm in, it just takes that kind of toll. And I want to do. It's not like I have to, man. I can work 30 hours a week and be good. But I don't want that, I want to maximize what I can do.
Absolutely.
So that's the part that I'm currently focusing the most on. What was the second question?
The third part of it all, I think you just answered 1 and 2 quite well with one another. The last one is, which of the 7 steps could you put more effort into? And I know you can say all of them, clearly, but if there's one more so than the others that, can catch your attention, maybe I should, focus on this a little bit more. Bring it up to speed.
bring it up to speed.
Do a little bit of maintenance, right? Just a little bit of maintenance. Not that you're doing it wrong.
I think the mission part of it.
And why is that?
I operate like I'm on a mission, and I am on a mission.
But you don't really know what the end goal is with the mission.
But I think a mission is something that's bigger than yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, they say like fall in love with a mission bigger than yourself. It's very true. A mission that I'm personally discluded. The mission is much bigger than me. Like I will do anything for that mission to be accomplished. Right now, I'm still on a selfish stage in a bit.
Yeah.
Even though I give to charity, even though I give back to others, even by this podcast, I don't need to come and give people my strategies. You know, why would I do that?
This was well earned by yourself.
Yeah. Why would I come tell people what I learned? But if it's going to spark a couple other people out there to do it, there's a fulfillment of that for me. But
Absolutely.
A mission, I think, a true mission in the business part of it, that's when I'm going to be running my own organization and corporation.
Right.
You know, I do have a business that I'm operating currently in e-commerce, right? This podcasting is not so much of a business for me. It's more of a
give back.
It's a give back kind of a scenario.
Yeah.
And I have something that I'm self-employed in, which is the mortgage sector. I am using one of the best lender, in my opinion, in the country's platform to fulfill my dreams, but it's still not my own. You know, it's not my own company. It's not my own organization that I built from ground up. There's a different feeling and sense of meaning to that, I think.
Right. There absolutely is, by the way.
I think that is the part that is going to be coming up for me next. That's how I see it, that I need to grow, you know, throw more seeds in, make the proper adjustments in fuel, water it, put it some sun for that to grow.
And honestly, you know what I think it is when it comes to finding out what your mission is? I don't think it's something that you should be actively looking for, in the sense of, like, you're not supposed to be able to look at it and be like, I'm identifying with this as my mission. I think the more that you do, which you always do, you're always doing more, you're always being proactive, you're always looking out there, exploring the world in the realm of business, ideas, creativity, right? I think your mission will fall in your lap. Like, there's going to be one day where it just clicks.
Yeah, I think
right?
so too.
And everything's going to align. But until that happens,
yeah.
My suggestion to you, and not that you need it, I'm just speaking out loud to everybody here, don't look for it and identify with something. Your mission will identify you, and you're going to stumble upon it. It's going to be one of those, aha moments, right?
Yeah.
And I also believe, before you move forward, that you're very close. And that's my gut feeling. I'm not just saying it for the camera. I'm not just saying it to say it. I really think that with the actions that you've been putting behind everything that you're saying, and all the different little fields that you've been, indulging in, looking into more and more, something's going to come up. And you're going to wake up one day and be like, aha,
yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah, I sure, you shouldn't. I think you should actively be looking at it. I think so, personally.
You should be curious, but you shouldn't be looking to identify.
Yeah, I'm not pissed that I don't have it yet.
Yeah.
But I'm going to constantly look for it to see what it is, because I need it. Sooner I find it, the better. The more I can do, the more I can accomplish, the more I can give back.
Right.
The more I can experience in life, man. And I'm just not satisfied right now. I'm just not. I don't think I ever will be.
There's always more.
Yeah. I just want more, to be more, give more, share more, create more. I want more, no matter what level I'm on. I think that's the part to answer that third question is that's what I need to get to. That's the next lotto ticket that I have to hit. And I'm sure as more actions I put out, the reactions are coming slowly.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
We'll see how that goes. But that's pretty much it. I mean, that's how I would define wealth. I know that was a long answer to a short question, but that's the way I would look at it.
That was a very pleasant surprise, because I was not expecting you to give me boom, 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 boom. I was not expecting you to give me 7 principles, but you've opened up my eyes personally to the idea of wealth. I always did think about wealth as money. I always tell myself health, wealth, happiness, and love. But in that wealth,
yes,
I put in money. It just compounded, put it together, peanut butter sandwich.
Yes.
Health, wealth, happiness, and love. But now I'm understanding that wealth is a combination of all of those things and more. Wealth is almost like the umbrella
Yeah.
that everything falls under.
Falls under.
And it has to all work symbiotically with one another. Just like an engine.
Yeah.
You need different parts. Everything needs to be symbiotic. Everything needs to work and complement one another.
Yeah.
And if all 7 of these...
Juices of life, I like to look at it, man.
I like that.
Yeah.
If all 7 of these juices of life aren't complementing one another,
Yeah.
you'll never truly be fulfilled, but more importantly, you'll never truly be wealthy.
No, I don't think you would be. And
Food for thought,
yeah,
juice for thought.
juice for thought, man. Absolutely. I think that's the way I would kind of break this down. And I think, you know what? Even though I was going to do this podcast about something else, I'm very glad you brought this up. And I
Thank
think
you.
this would be a good short clip for people to kind of look into it. And then, you know, again, the content that I'm talking about, I didn't create the content. This is not my original content, right? I've learned it from a great mentor of mine that has changed my life, and a lot of, you know, it's changed your life too in a big sense.
Tremendously.
Tremendously. Mr. Tony Robbins is just an amazing guy, which I think a lot of people in our generation don't listen to. A lot of people listen to Grant Cardone, Ed Milet, and these young entrepreneurs that are coming up, but there is a level of depth that Tony brings to the game
Absolutely.
that, and like, holy schmoly, I've never looked at it like that. And I think that's the one guy that I would always tell people, like, if you're going to change your life, that's the one person that I suggest go watch.
Well, you know, the thing is also, we need people like you to give a different perspective, to bring it to yourself. So people relate to you.
Yeah.
And if you relate to Tony Robbins, but that initial person that relates to you can't relate to him, you can relay that information from Tony Robbins, bring it into yourself, and then relay it back to whoever that
Yeah.
relates to you. If you can follow me here, right? There's a recipient that listens to Amir, but that recipient doesn't listen to Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
But if Amir listens to Tony Robbins and gives you the same information,
Yeah.
right? You now have a new level of understanding of a concept that you've never had before.
Yes.
So the whole idea of, you know what, this isn't original information, nothing is original information. It's all imitation and regurgitation of a thought that's
Yeah.
always been in the ether of the world.
It hasn't been pinned down and broken down into details. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Exactly.
I don't think that, I think that what you're doing is great. Very simply put.
Yeah.
Very simply put. And we need people like you to give young people like me and your audience a perspective of somebody that's our age, rather
Yeah.
than a 50-year-old, a 40-year-old. They're in a different part of the game.
Yeah.
We're in a different part of the game.
Yeah.
And he's making it relatable, more importantly, to us.
Yeah.
That's why we should be listening.
Definitely. And I think we should just, you know, just to kind of make this nice and short and quick, something, little chunk bites of information to give out to my people. Listen, this is where we're going to end the podcast. If you guys enjoyed this, you know, all he asks for, of course, is to share with another person, a friend of yours, put it out there. The more people that know, the better our network would be. So if we helped you in any shape or form, I help with any information here, help me as well, and make it a mutual transaction here. And you know, put it out to other people too. You know, if the information do you think was helpful to you in any shape or form. A couple things I definitely want to make sure I explain. Where you can follow me personally, my LinkedIn, if you do have a LinkedIn, is under Amir Zandifar. First name is Amir. Zandifar is Z as in zebra, A as in alpha, N as in November, D as in Delta, I as in India, F as in frog. I was going to say Frank, but frog. A as in alpha, R as in Romeo. On my Instagram is Amir _Zandi. That is Zandii. I don't usually go on Snapchat much or Facebook, so those are 2 places you can follow me. On YouTube, it's just my first and last name, Amir Zandifar, and The Journey Within is the podcast portion that we you know, put the content out. Now, highly recommend it. My dear friend Simon has an amazing podcast, as I mentioned earlier, called The Driving Factor. You can actually tell him where they can find you. I mean, I personally follow his YouTube on The Driving Factor. The content is amazing.
Thank you,
know,
sir.
it's amazing information with great people. I've been on it multiple times. A lot of great people have been on it multiple times. Him has a wealth and a depth of information and a lot of amazing knowledge for people that are in entrepreneurship, that are building their own businesses, and they either are kind of on the edge of starting their own business or they're currently starting and have a lot of struggles. He has a lot of good principles and ideas that he shares in all those podcasts that very, very valuable, right, in business. And on how to build it and how to deal with daily struggles and daily things that come up during business and how to kind of manage them and set up very proper strategies to continue to make your business grow. He has multiple businesses and they're all positive revenue. It's very hard to say that at someone at 21, 22-year-old age. Multiple businesses, all positive revenue, right?
Thank you. All self-funded as well. We don't have anybody that's funding us. We don't have any seed rounds. We don't have anything of that. We have an idea. We lay down a business model, and we start executing immediately. We have 4 successful companies. Me personally, within the last 12 months, out of 2 of the 4 companies, 2 companies we just started this year. But out of the 2 companies within the past 24 months, we've done over $600,000 in sales. I'm personally responsible for $443,000 of it, right?
And how long have you been doing it?
I've been an entrepreneur since
how long have you been running those 4 businesses that have generated that kind of?
About 2.5 years.
That's amazing.
So about 6 months to start up and then 2 years to really get the ball rolling.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Where can they find you on social media?
You can find me and my personal Instagram page at Super Saman, super then SAMAN. You can find me on YouTube, on iTunes, and on Spotify at The Driving Factor. The ethos of my podcast, which, by the way, you explained that very well. Thank you. We talk about the startup entrepreneur lifestyle, right? What we go through on a day-to-day basis. We're going to be glorifying the highs. We're going to be addressing the lows. We're going to be talking to you from an emotional level on what's going on, how to keep your head in the game. I'm going to give you strategies to implement that I have that have worked for me in my businesses in the past to keep yourself going, right? And to be clear, we may not have all the answers, but we're documenting this journey. We're giving a helping hand. We want to have an open discussion, right, with our viewers and with us so we can help everybody grow together. Amir, what he does so well is that he has these principles that he lives and dies by. And when you listen to him and you learn these concepts, you can take them with you for the rest of your life. I'm more of an emotional being. A lot of the times we're just going to be shooting the show, as you could say. But there's going to be value in there. These are things that we think about all the time that we're sure that you think about too, and we want to empathize with one another. But regardless, don't want to get on a spiel. You can find me at The Driving Factor, anywhere that has podcasts. You can find me at Super Saman. If you have any questions in regards to what I do for my businesses, if you want any more validity, if you want to know what's really going on, just let me know. But more importantly, we're here on the journey within. Thank you for having me once again. I love the principles that we've talked about. He really did spoil me today. I wasn't expecting to come here. Future notice, you're going to have a fitness section of your YouTube. You're going to have your podcast, which you already have.
Yes.
What's the third? What's going to be coming out to play?
So, the podcast that I usually talk about is more of these personal development things that we speak about that kind of go into the concept. We talk a little bit about business, a little bit about personal development. And the way I'm breaking down my overall, kind of social media part of it, fitness is going to be one part, personal development and business principles are going to be another one, and the third one is going to be simply just on sales. And this may not relate to a lot of people that are watching it. I know a lot of people from my organization are watching this, so simply in sales strategies, tools of selling, how to become a better salesperson, and kind of diving extremely deep into sales. This is my personal most important expertise that I have is sales, and kind of deep into methodical ways of selling, whether you are a telemarketer, in-person sales, or any type of communication-based business that you're in. And explain you my results. People say, okay, why would I want to listen to sales? Simply, I'm 22 years old. I've made over $2.5 million in the mortgage business and sales, and this is all over the phone, telecommunication. I've done over $420 million in residential home loans in just about 2.5, almost 3 years.
Wow.
I'm doing about 30, 40 loans a month.
Wow.
On my own. I have no assistant. I do everything on my own. So that's a part that I can help the most as far as strategies and game plans and specific techniques of selling. That's going to be the third part that's coming out, which I'm going to start kind of developing more videos and contents in there. So
If people wanted verification as to if you're the real deal or not going to get any better than this, you guys. Not going to get any better than this. I'm looking forward to seeing what unravels. I'm looking forward to listening to your sales strategies as I get them all the time without the camera there. But with that being said, I think we're good to go.
thank you, man.
My
Appreciate it.
man. Love you. We'll see you next time.